You are working for free and your numbers can prove it. Most dental practices have an 8 to 15% gap between what they produce and what is actually being deposited in their bank account. In a $1 to $2 million practice, that's 6 figures walking out the door every single year. Not because you're not working hard, but because your systems behind your revenue aren't protecting you. The 5-minute collection gap assessment shows you exactly where your money is going and what it would take to get it back. You did the work, you just didn't get paid for all of it. Here's a number most practice owners have never actually calculated. What percentage of what you produced last year did you actually deposit? If you don't know that number off the top of your head, that's your first sign there's a gap. In a healthy practice, collection rates run between 98 to 100%. That means for every $100 of dentistry you completed, $98 to $100 landed in your bank account. But the national average? It's closer to 92 to 94%. That means on average, most practices are working for free 6 to 8% of the time. Overhead doesn't pause, payroll doesn't pause, your time doesn't pause, but your revenue, it's leaking. In a $1 to $2 million practice, a 92% collection rate doesn't sound catastrophic until you do the math. At $1.5 million in annual production, a 92% collection rate means you're leaving $120,000 on the table every year. That's enough to fund a full-time associate, upgrade your equipment, increase your own compensation, hire the front desk support you've been putting off, cutting your clinical hours. And you don't have to produce a single additional procedure to get there. The gap isn't a production issue, it's a collection infrastructure problem. Here's what makes this even trickier. Some practices report a 100% collection rate and only deposit, let's say 95% of it as actual cash. The hidden leak here: credit adjustments written off against collections that never show up as real revenue. If you're using one generic write-off code and not categorizing your adjustments, you may not even know this is happening or why it's happening. The 5-minute collection gap assessment surfaces this. 5 numbers, 2 minutes with your reports, and you'll see a picture of your revenue cycle you've probably never seen this clearly before now. And this gap I won't stop talking about, it's not random. It usually traces back to the same 5 places. Number 1, eligibility and benefits are not closely verified or verified at all before your appointments. You're billing blindly, missing collections like frequency and age limitations, or under collecting or not collecting copays at all. Number 2, fee schedules aren't updated. If you're utilizing fee schedules, you need to make sure you have them accurate, because every claim that goes out with an improper fee schedule is potentially a missed collection opportunity. Number 3, your aged claims are not worked weekly. They expire or it becomes unmanageable. Number 4, there's no strict billing cycle. Money sits uncollected because statements aren't going out for it. Number 5, credit adjustments are not categorized. You cannot fix what you cannot transparently track and understand. If you took the gap assessment and answered, "I'm not sure," to 2 or more of those questions at the end, there is revenue sitting in your practice right now that has not converted to cash and will continue to not convert to cash. If you have not yet completed the 5-minute collection gap assessment, it's completely free, and as the name suggests, it takes about 5 minutes. There are 2 parts. The first part is a self-guided assessment, and the second part is a full analysis provided by us. You'll walk away knowing your actual collection percentage, not the number your software shows, but your real number. Whether you have a minor leakage, moderate leakage, or a major structural gap in your revenue cycle operations, where your write-offs potentially could be coming from and how they're skewing your data, and lastly, what closing your gap could mean in actual dollars. When you submit, our team reviews your numbers and responds within 48 hours with a pre-recorded presentation. No need to even take a call from us. But if you do want to skip that wait, you can schedule a revenue clarity call directly. This isn't a quiz. This isn't meant to sell you anything. This isn't meant to make you sign up for any services. It's a diagnostic tool. You get to keep the data we analyze for you, the presentation that we prepare for you, and what you want to do with that information, that's up to you to decide. Since the assessment comes with no strings attached, no obligations to have to pre-commit to, I would highly recommend taking it because honestly, those 5 minutes could be the most important 5 minutes you spend on your practice this month. If you are even remotely curious as to what a partnership could feel like or what it could do for you, I'm going to share the feedback that we've received from our clients. The number one thing that we hear is they don't have to worry about this part of the practice anymore. They don't have to micromanage to figure out what is or isn't taking place. They don't have to drive the result. They don't feel like they're the only one that cares. They have transparency about what is or isn't taking place. They have KPIs that are tracked, analyzed, and measured for them. They have a team that converts treatment time into deposited cash consistently on every billing cycle, because our goal here, it isn't to see the gap. Our goal is to close the gap so that you never see or feel it again. Most practice owners that I talk to don't have the time, the capacity, the emotional budget remaining to closely analyze and understand their data. The fact that you're reading this or seeing this says something about where you're headed. Do yourself a favor. Take the 5 minutes, complete the collection gap assessment, see your numbers, understand what they're telling you, and know exactly what's possible. Link in bio.